And hello there, morons. It's Victor, King of the Morons. Welcome to another Jnews. I introduce a little Jnews to you, a little Japanese news, related news, and then I give you a Japanese lesson. I try to pick something interesting. Often, because it's news, it's often very depressing. Today's is not so depressing, but it is rather shocking. Kind of depressing, actually, I guess, if you think about it. But anyway, it comes from Dan Zabar, who left this message, sent this idea to me. Hey, did you catch this? Thought this might be your sort of thing, because he does watch my Jnews, I guess. Dan Zabar, thank you very much. If you do have suggestions, please feel free to send them to askgimmeabreakman@gmail.com. Let's get to it. And that article that he sent me, and I know my hair, I know I need a haircut. It is mechakucha. That's what you say when someone's hair is out of control. It's mechakucha. Okay, so in 2014, a 71-year-old, I guess in those days he must have been much younger. What was that? 3 years ago, so 67 or so. A 67-year-old Shinjuku Gyoen Park employee was yelled at when he tried to charge a foreigner 200 yen. 200 yen, which is about $2, maybe $2.50, depending where you're from. In pesos, I don't know. But rubles, all that stuff, I don't know. Euros, I don't know. Anyway, he tried to charge him 200 yen, and the guy yelled at him. So after that, he's like, I'm not going to ask foreigners for money anymore. So what he started doing was just letting them into the park, giving them tickets, and then kind of erasing the record of their entrance from the records. So during that time, 160,000 foreigners, 160,000, that's a lot of foreigners, were let into the park. Okay. You might think, well, that's like everybody, right? But actually, just last year alone, 2 million people visited the park, and they each pay 200 yen. So that's a lot of yen, right? This is a Japanese gesture for yen, by the way. And this is for gay, and this is for yakuza. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so that's amazing. But it's kind of sad. So anyway, I'll link you to the article. And the guy says he works for the Kankyo show, which is the Ministry of the Environment. Kankyo actually means atmosphere, but. And he said, I'm really sorry. So this is the part I don't quite understand. He says, after it was exposed, like one of his coworkers ratted him out, and then after he was exposed, they penalized him or penalized him. I would say penalized him because it sounds like penalized them for one penalized. Actually, that's correct. They penalized them for 1 month's salary, and they said that he submitted his resignation and he offered to return half of his retirement money, which is approximately 300,000 yen. I'm assuming that's like all of it. So he probably got 600,000 yen for retirement, which isn't much at all. But maybe that's a month, but that's a really nice salary for being retired. I mean, assuming he worked at a park at the park. But the thing about I don't honestly know how much those people get paid, park employees. But I do know that. Well, let me see. What usually happens in Japan is that you work at a company, then when you're about 60 or 65, depending on the company, you retire. And many of those people, then they have nothing to do, so they die immediately because they have nothing to do. Now, I kid, but not really. It does happen. If you are working at a company, it's typical for you to send out like 400 or more hagaki or New Year's cards. That's actually what's the shogatsu card. The what the hell's it? What's the name of the New Year's cards? Hello? New Year's cards. What are those called? Nengajo. Thank you. Nengajo. Okay. Slip my tongue. As soon as I turn on the camera, I can't remember. The nengajo. You may in Japan they don't really of course they don't. They're all heathen, so they don't celebrate Christmas. They're all going to hell. Right? Me too, but don't worry. See you there. They're all heathen, so they don't send out Christmas cards, but they do send out something called nengajo. Nen, the kanji is, I'll just type it out for you. Hold on. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. With my goofy noise. Okay, so that word is called nengajo, and check out this beauty of this. Oops, no. Nengajo. Yes, check it out, right? So nengajo is pronounced nengajo. And that's New Year's cards. New Year's card. And I've known cases of like salarymen, they'll send out 400 nengajo when they're working. And then when they retire, that's it. Like they don't send out many. They might send out some, but they get very few back. Like they're basically, nobody sends them anything. And it's kind of depressing. There's stories about that. Anyway, a lot of these retired men will get really petty jobs working for the government. Some of those jobs include, like, if you go around Japan, you'll see the bicycles are all lined up near the station. They're all perfectly lined up, and you might think, well, Japanese are very neat. But actually, it's usually these people, these retired workers who are paid like literally $1 an hour to line up those bicycles. I've talked to them before, and I know people who've done that. Basically, just gives them something to do, so they don't just go home and die because they have nothing to do. You know, it gives their life purpose and meaning. Right? Anyway, so it's very difficult to tell what if this guy was because he's 71 years old. So I'm assuming he probably retired from his company, then started working at this as a park employee. But I don't know. It's interesting either way, because he's 71. I mean, that's kind of old. So I'm assuming this is like his second retirement. He retired from his company maybe, and then he worked for the government doing this petty job, and he probably was paid very little. And if that's the case, can you blame the guy if he was being paid like $1 an hour or whatever it was, a really minor hourly wage, just to keep him busy, just give him something to do, and then some big foreigner, probably an Irish guy, I don't know why I said that, but probably an Irish guy yelled at him. And guess put in the comments who you think, what kind of foreigner yelled at him. Anyway, someone yelled at him, and he's like, "Hey, I don't get paid enough. This is above my pay grade. I don't get paid enough to get yelled at." So he just started, letting people in for free. And let's see. So here it is. Officials said he was not good at English, and he's afraid of foreigners after he was shouted at by one tourist for not speaking a foreign language. After the incident, he said he was afraid to collect money from foreign visitors. He was quoted as saying he did not think of his actions as embezzlement. But I guess in a way he did. He just basically paid with his job, I guess, in the end, for 160,000 people. So I feel bad for this guy. I feel as a representative bad hair foreigner in Japan, I feel like I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy. Why are we so scary? Maybe it's our hair. Maybe he had crazy hair. Mechakucha hair. So anyway, this guy, he's lost his job. He's 71 now. And the Japanese, I think the average age in Japan for old, I think he's past the average age of longevity here in Japan. Lifespan Japan, I want to say 68 for men. Oh, 83, let me see. 83. What about men and women? The 83 average, men, women, let's cut it down. And of course, it doesn't tell us. It doesn't tell us. Life expectancy run, here we go. 86 years for women? Oh my God. Jesus. So the average, Japanese is 80 years, so he's still got quite a bit of time left. So we can't make a joke that he's going to die soon anyway. Okay, so that joke doesn't work. Anyway, that's the story. Isn't that weird? In a country where you hear about xenophobia a bit, and so the word xenophobia means an irrational fear or hatred of another. I'm sorry, phobia. The ending phobia means irrational or irrational fear or strong hatred. For example, homophobia could be a hatred of homosexuals, or it could be a fear of homosexuals. But generally speaking, it's not necessarily a hate. It's more like just you're scared of it. Like agoraphobia, you're scared of wide places, or acrophobia, you're scared of high places. You don't hate high places, you're actually scared, right? It depends, of course, on what you're talking about. But xenophobia, which comes from the Greek xeno, which means foreigner, refers to a hatred or an abnormal apprehension of foreigners. And I guess it really depends on who you are. It's one of those things where, if you grow up in a country where you don't ever deal with foreigners and then one of them yells at you, is it unreasonable to be scared of all of them? I don't know. In America, we would say that's just racist or stupid or ignorant. But I haven't grown up in a country where you like that. I myself am a foreigner living. I immigrated to America, and people weren't scared of me. If anything, they said, "Go back to Mexico." I'm like, "I'm not from Mexico." That's another story. Okay. Anyway, that's basically a story. Tell me what your thoughts on this. It's an interesting story. Let's get to the vocabulary. Okay. I'm going to be using a Japanese headline, which actually, where the hell is it? This is the headline I got, and I will link that too, so you can see the story. We're not going to do the whole story because it's too much. You don't need the whole story, but this I think it's from a site called Sputnik. which is a strange site, right? But anyway, this is I'll link that in the description. And let's see. This is the actual headline. This is Shinjuku Gyoen. Is that right? Shinjuku Gyoen, is that right? Gyoen. Shinjuku Gyoen, which is the name of the park. Shokuin ga gaikokujin no muryou de nyuen saseteita. So, basically, an employee was letting foreigners into the park, into Shinjuku Gyoen Park for free. That's the headline. And then we have a sub-headline here. So I would like to go through that with you and break that down for you, okay? 東京にある新宿御苑の男性職員が約3年間にわたって外国人の無料で入園させていたことが分かった。環境省は20日、この職員を懲戒処分にした。Okay, so there we go. There's the whole thing. Now, I'll break it down, and it's in the description, so you can check it out. Tokyo is actually Tokyo in English. Ni aru. So this is where something is. It indicates where. So Tokyo ni aru means in Tokyo. Shinjuku Gyoen is the name of the park. Actually, it's not. Oh, hold on. Shinjuku Gyoen. Yeah. Yeah, N is also park, but this is a different kanji. So anyway, that's the name of the park. Shinjuku Gyoen. No is a particle that indicates possession, like apostrophe S. Dansei shokuin. Dansei is a gentleman or a man, and shokuin is a worker, so a male employee. Ga is a subject marker, indicates what the subject is. Yaku, about. Yaku, about. There are many ways to say yaku. Daitai, gurai. 3年間にわたって 3年間, of course, 3 years, a period of 3 years, にわたって spanning over 3 years, spanning a 3-year period, 外国人 foreigners, o indicates what the verb will act on, it's an object marker, 無料で for free, 入園させていたこと koto at the end of a verb indicates a thing, so like ing, like so, having allowed people into the park, having ing, right? Having allowed people into the park, or allowing people into the park. So this new n is to allow someone into a park. Saseteita is the passive tense. So this indicates that the fact koto is fact. In this case, adding koto to the end of a verb indicates it has become a thing. So in this case, a fact, right? The thing, the having. Allowed someone into the park. Yes. Ga, subject marker again, wakatta, was found out. So it was found out. So this is actually the first part here. Where is it? Okay, this is the first part here. So let's look at this again. So it was found out, having let someone into the park for free, foreigners. So foreigners were let into the park for free. It was found out over a period of 3 years. And who did it? A male employee. Into what park? Into the Shinjuku Gyoen Park, which is in Tokyo. Tokyo ni aru. All right. The next part of the sentence is Kankyou shou wa 20日 kono shokuin no shoukai shobun shita. So on the Ministry of Kankyou actually means atmosphere, but in this case we would say the Ministry of the Environment. On this day, topic marker, on the 20th of the month, this employee, kono shokuin, this employee, did I just spit a little peanut? I was eating some peanuts. I hope some peanuts didn't fly out of my mouth there. Anyway, shokuin, kono shokuin, this employee, shokuin, this indicates what they will do to the employee. Chokai is disciplinary, and shobun is dealing, so together, disciplinary action or disciplinary measures were taken. So they disciplined him on the 20th. And that's your video. Thank you very much for watching. I've been trying to do more of these, but they take a bit of research. I thought I could do more. The other problem is I was sick. I've been sick. I've been nursing a cold for the last 2 weeks. I'm just getting over it now. And I've had bad hair. I've had bad hair days for about 2 weeks now. Anyway, that's your video. Thank you very much for watching. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Oh, and please support the video by giving me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. See ya.